This episode is brought to you by Jing's Mortgage Team. Jing's Mortgage Team is a team of real estate mortgage professionals whose mission is to help anyone with their real estate needs. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, refinance your home, have credit issues, or in need of an investment loan, we can definitely help you. If you're looking for a real estate agent, we know the best of the best real estate agents. Visit the link below for more information. Michael Gao,
All right.
thank you so much for coming on. It's an absolute honor for you to be featured as one of our awesome, honorable guests. For our viewers who don't know, Michael Gao to me embodies the spirit of the boss mentality. He's a man that one of the top producers in real estate. He is one of the founding partners of KWCP.
Correct.
He has super loads of experience in business and financial analyzing. President and founder of SB Shuttle Bus, a man of a bunch of hats, super courageous. Michael Gao, thank you so much for coming on.
Well, it's an honor to be here. It's my first time doing it. I am truly honored that you will think of me as being one of your guest speaker here. I'm not that successful like Hamilton said it, but I'll try to do my best to give you some nuggets that hopefully you guys can take away, and then we're gonna share some experiences together.
Oh, Michael,
Yep.
you're such a humble guy, and if you know Michael, I'm sure you'll get that same experience and feeling too. Always from the first time I met Michael, super humble, super down to earth. I think I called you out of the blue just to
Yes.
see if I could introduce you to to Jing, my wife and lender.
Yes.
And I think you were busy, and then I followed up with you.
Yes.
And it was and this was what I found very impressive, that Michael said, people call me all the time and they don't follow up. And you followed up. And because you followed up, I'm gonna give you a meeting. And I think that tells me a lot about you as well. Somebody that follows up, makes sure that no stone is left unturned. So from then on, again, super humble guy, super hardworking guy. This is why I'm so excited, because after looking at your achievements and your successes, I love to offer, see if I can peel back the curtain a little bit, get that secret sauce that makes you who you are and successful. So thank you again.
No problem. I'll love to share. But also, you know what? Your follow-up, your consistency also make Hamilton the Hamilton that we know today. I personally don't know him that well, but
Yeah.
we only met. This is our first
Third-
first kind of like a meeting, but this is our third time seeing each
something
other.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah, but we also, I mean, his consistency and perseverance is impressed me a lot. So that's why we're here today, and we found a lot of commonalities among us.
Yeah.
So it's great to know you, and it's great to be here today.
Thank
It's
you
a truly
so much.
honor. Yep.
But again, I can see your successes, and I'm just so excited to kind of unpack,
Okay.
some of the things that, led you to all of these, these adventures.
Okay.
Whether it's business or personal. But yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself. Where were you born? How did you, what was your humble beginnings like?
Sure. So I came to the country when I was 10. And
From China?
From China, yeah. So I went middle of third grade. My dad calls from abroad. Hey, you're coming to the US. So I said, okay, let's go. And because my parents were here a little bit earlier than I did, and so I was in China, me and my grandma. So we came here, we united, and then we started from here, and then went to school, graduated from college from Stony Brook, and ever since then I started working as in the financial world, in corporate America for about 6 years.
Wow.
And then after that, came to do real estate, and this is my 10th year in real estate sales.
Wow, that's amazing. So, your parents, what do they do for a living?
My parents,
yeah,
right
they
now they're
came over-
retired. Yeah,
Right,
now
right,
they're
but
retired.
at
But
the
when
time,
they first
yeah.
came here, it's traditional parents. Mom worked in the clothing factory. Dad works in a restaurant. First generation, parents that they work super hard to provide opportunities and for their kids, so that they want us. Their only requirement for us: go to school, graduate from college, and you're off from there.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
to me, that's like the American dream.
Correct.
You know?
Yes.
Because people, they come with pretty much nothing,
Nothing.
right?
Exactly.
Nothing with, no friends, maybe some friends, I guess, but no property, no real like establishment, and then they come and they make something out of themselves.
Right.
So that's great to have this in your lineage,
Exactly.
How was it like coming over to America in the beginning? Do you find
Coming-
like it was a difficult transition?
Yeah. It was challenging, but it was a lot of fun. I see it was a lot of fun because I came from Fujian, and we're in the south. I never see snow. First time I came here, I went in 1995. It was one of the biggest snowstorm in the history. I think the third biggest one. And I saw 2 feet of snow, 3 feet of snow. By the time we walked out from the apartment, I was like, "Holy cow, this is amazing! I love this country." It greeted me with all these sceneries that I've never exposed before. And I still remember this day that when my dad picked me. Well, he came. He was on a flight with me, and then on our way back to our apartment in Manhattan, in Lower East Side, we bypassed the garbage trucks. At night times, the garbage trucks, we don't know what it was. It was to have lights. I saw those as one of the fascinating things because I never seen those trucks with lights on it. I think it's the 18 trailer. So we passed by a lot of those. I was like, wow, I was fascinated by this place. So I always came here happy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah, my experience was never no negative experience so far.
Yeah. So Lower East Side, that's Manhattan, Chinatown. Am I correct? Or
Lower East Side is right next to Manhattan. Right now, it has changed so much. In the past, it used to be a very ghetto area where only the poor people lives, and now it has transformed into one of the hottest neighborhoods in Manhattan.
yeah, a lot of hipsters, I think.
Correct,
right?
correct,
Yeah,
correct. Yep,
right,
yep.
right. So I gotta ask you.
Yes.
This is a cool endeavor. I think you started this interesting company, shuttle company. If you could talk to us about this
Shuttle company?
from I think SB shuttle bus. I think it was from Stony Brook when you started.
I'm impressed that you found this. This is a venture that me and my friends started while we were in school, and I always have these ideas. So it's never in school. You have to explore all different opportunities. I went to Stony Brook. Stony Brook was not known for a business school at the time, but I chose to be major in finance and economics. So we have to be creative and think outside the box. So during this entrepreneurship class, the professor asked us to come up with some business plans. So I came up with this shuttle bus company because at the time the only form of transportation from school to New York City was LIR, unless you have your own car. And what happens during the weekends, especially during weekends, it's packed. Sometimes you can't even find a seat because everybody try to go back home during the weekends. So it happens to that. I saw these shuttle bus running across from Chinatown to Flushing to Brooklyn, all those the local shuttle bus. So I had this idea of maybe we can bring them to campus and try to take some burden off from LIRR and provide an alternative solution for public transportation. And it was fun. We came up with a business plan. We got the support from the school. They gave us a booth to sell tickets. We coordinated with the local shuttle bus company, have them come to school, pick up the students. We make a small profit. We pay them a flat fee. Sometimes we operate at a loss, but most of the times we were able to pack the bus because there's advantage to the bus. Everybody have a guaranteed seating, and it's instead of LIR stopping at multiple stops, it's a direct ride from school, and we have the bus come to the center of the school, which is student activity center, and then they drop off to different locations. One location in Flushing, one location in Manhattan, and one location in Brooklyn. So we had some success at that time, but at the moment it was just for fun. And also one of the real reason behind it is because since we're from business school, we have to show the employers who we are. We have to stand out. Stony Brook was not known for business school. What kind of advantage do I have against people from Hofstra, from NYU, from all these well-known business schools? We have none. So that I want to add something to my resume to make myself stand out, and that's why we created that. And we ran it for about 2 years, and we were very proud of that. And all of our members, all of our friends got first round interviews.
It's amazing because how many kids in college can say that they started a successful company?
Well, a lot.
Helping. Well, I mean, I,
think a
I
lot.
guess really.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. Yeah.
we were operating at a very small scale,
Right.
but
Oh,
it was
okay.
enough for us, to stop us. We don't need to ask our parents for money,
Right.
for all the daily spendings.
Right.
So we were able to make a little bit profit from there.
Yeah, for our younger viewers
Right.
and viewers that, maybe, because this is part of in category, business and entrepreneurship and also
Right.
self-help.
Correct.
For our younger viewers that are watching, do you have any advice for them as far as just doing it? I mean, what was your secret sauce at the time? Was it? Would you say that it's just making yourself stand out, or was there something else that drove you to establish this successful company? Because you continued it after the class was over, right?
Correct. Oh, yeah, we operated for 2 years. So, second year I went to pursue other opportunities, and I left it with my friends who operated for another year. And then once we graduated, and then we just closed the company. Well, actually, we closed the company for two reasons. Once we graduated, and two, LRR came back and attacked us. Because we stole a lot of their customers,
Oh,
the
boy.
students. And then
What did they do?
So LRR came back. They were offering 50% off their tickets to students. So we were we were packing about 75 to 100 students traveling to New York City every week. So they offer 150% discount tickets. So pretty much they eat away our target customers. But it was a very fun experience.
Yeah.
And going back to your question, I think it's very important for us to realize, like at all times, to realize where we are, know our competition, know who's out there, and if you're in business, either you're trying to prepare yourself for the interview, know who's out there and what they're looking for. Prepare yourself. That's what made us to start the project and also help us to carry it through the 2 years. Because we know that Stony Brook is not known. If I'm the employer, I want to recruit or somebody or hire a graduate, I would rather hire from a well-known, better school, like business school from Hofstra, from other schools. But why they need to hire you from Stony Brook? Stony Brook is a great school. It's known for the health care industry, the computer science. We're very strong in those categories. But business school was a new business school at the time. But I always have a business mindset that I wanted to go to business school.
Yeah, and I'm definitely gonna circle around to that, but it's like
What,
to stay humble, because everything that, again, just very consistent with Michael Gao, like stay humble, right? Like I think a lot of younger people, coming out of college now is kind of like, I deserve six figures, I deserve to get managerial positions.
Yes,
But then it's like stay humble, right? Like kind of know what's out there, what's going on,
Know yourself and know what's it's okay to ask for six figures, but the follow-up question that I would ask is, do I deserve those six figures?
Yeah.
Why would anybody want to pay you six figures?
Yeah.
Right. Put yourself into other people's shoes.
Yeah.
If I'm the employer, why do I need to pay you six figures to do the job? While if there's other people more capable than you are and charging less,
Right.
you will lose your opportunity. There's two ways. Either you prepare yourself better, and so that you can live up to the expectations that you want the other party to see from you. You want to prepare yourself so that you can live up to the expectations that you set for yourself, or lower your own expectations if you know that you are not able to meet other people's expectations. So it's about knowing yourself and knowing the other parties, and I think that's playing fair.
Wow, that is definitely playing fair, very logical, and
Right.
I think that needs a little bit of unpacking too. But I think, but we'll get to that. I think this is consistent. I think it will come back
Okay.
with your story. But no, I wanted to circle back to what I was going to ask before. Like,
Sure.
Why did you, out of all the programs, why did you want to get into business? Why did you?
Why did I want to get into business? I'm fascinating, but by all these, the business leaders or entrepreneurs, how they are able to think outside the box and create something that's not normal. It's all these creative minds and creative leaders that help bring changes to the society, to the place that to everything that happens in the world. And business, it's anybody can go into business. So there's no high entry level. The barrier is not high. So I think as long as you want to make a difference, you want to change the way that things around you, business is an easy way to go. Well, you can become a politician, but that to me was just it's a little bit harder. I think I think going into business is a lot easier. Yeah.
So you found it fascinating that I guess maybe, correct me if I'm wrong. I guess maybe the changes and the advancements of the world.
Correct. Yes.
Like just
I think you
developed
put it in
by
a much better way.
developed by
Right.
great entrepreneurs, and it fascinated you, and you wondered if you this is something that you can get into as well.
Right. I think that interests me, fascinated me, and I just want to be maybe a part of it. Maybe not to a great, maybe won't have a great influence, but I think it's as long doing something that can make me happy. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. That's a mic droppable moment as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah. No, that's important because it's also important being true to yourself.
Correct. Being true to yourself. That's
Right,
a
making
much
you
better way
happy.
of making you happy.
Right, right. Because it's like if you do something that you're not happy with, then
Right.
why do it?
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
Because you're probably not going to be as efficient as you want to be in it,
Right,
right?
right,
Because
right.
you're not happy doing it, right?
True.
So it makes logical sense.
True.
It's important.
Right.
So from there, you became, I think, a financial analyst. I think.
Yes.
Got into business management a little bit. I mean, is
Yes.
there anything any experiences that you can share from that, or?
Any experience? Well, coming out from college, you always hit with a debt, so you have to find money to pay it off.
Yes.
So I need to find a job at the time, pay off my college debt. Even though Stony Brook was very generous and very helpful, but I still had a debt that I need to pay. So finding a job was the top priority at the time. So ended up interviewing with North Shore LIJ. Now they changed the name to share something.
Oh, okay.
Northwell.
Northwell.
Northwell, yes.
Northwell Health.
Northwell.
Northwell
Right.
Health.
So they hired me as a financial analyst, and I started 5 years. And then I started there right after from college. 5 months from there, I got called from the previous employer where I interned high school and then college. And then they offered me a position. They say we have a position opening right now. I want you to come back and join us. So I joined their corporate finance department. And then I stayed in that company for 6 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
So within that particular time, would you say that helped you build the foundation of kind of who you are?
Yes.
Well, can you talk about that a little bit? Like how?
People come to business with creative minds. We're very unstable a lot of times. We have many thoughts, going through our minds.
Oh, that's what you mean by unstable? Like a bunch of different
Right.
thoughts?
Today I want to do this. Tomorrow I want to
Okay.
do that, and I see that as a weakness. I see a lot of successful people. They're very consistent. They have perseverance, but I know that's a weakness that I have. So I need to find something that can hold myself accountable to. So I wanted to find a job. I want to get into a big corporation to learn and see how big corporations run, how they are able to attract all these talents and working for them, what are the benefits of them operating an organization that big, and what are tools and some programs that they implement to help them to keep their talents. So I set myself a goal that within the first 5 years after graduation, I will not start a business on my own, but I will do so after 5 years.
Wow. Why 5 years? Is it just a number that?
It's a number that I got from myself because I have to hold myself down to the ground,
Okay.
hold myself accountable. I don't think you can learn how how the company operates within 5 months or within the first 1 or 2 years.
Right.
You have to really, if you really wanted to learn something, you have to give yourself some time.
So your goal at the time, when you got into becoming a financial analyst,
Right.
wasn't just to make money necessarily to pay
Right.
the bills, but
Right.
you were also observing how the because it's a big successful company, right?
Correct.
How you were observing and learning how the organization was structured and built.
How they structure, how
Did
they
that what,
operates and runs. Because, like I said, I know I want to do something.
did that fascinate you? Like,
Of course.
it was very interesting to you. That's why
course.
you stayed there for so long. Needless to say, I mean, it seemed like you were happy there because you were there for so long, right?
I enjoy myself there, but again, it's about knowing yourself. I know that even if I hate it, I would stay there for 5 years.
Oh, okay. Because you gave
And-
yourself a 5 year.
Because I have to commit to my own goals. So I gave myself the 5 year plan. I lasted 6 years in the company, and I learned a lot from my former boss, and but also one of the reasons why is because two reasons. I could have stayed, continued to work my way up in the corporate ladder, but I saw myself. I saw my boss who's making good money, but he started to have kids, and then it's hard for him to let go at his position.
Let go of what exactly?
Let go of the job, let go of the income.
Okay.
Once he let go, there's no stable support for him and his family.
Meaning he's kind of, I don't want to say stuck, but he's kind of like.
You can put it. He's kind of stuck.
Okay, sure. For lack of a better word, yes.
Right.
But he was kind of stuck. Is that the
Yes,
safe
he
way
can't
to say
afford to give up that position.
it? And you didn't like that?
And I don't want to put myself in that position ever. I always wanted to have opportunities. So you know what? Since it was 5 years, I can stay or I can quit. So I actually gave him a 6 month of resignation letter. And I was very honest with my boss. So you know what? It's not about the money. It's not about the career visions. It's just the company that have given me. It's about my own expectations and the things that I set out for myself. And I learned a lot from that company. I really learned a lot. The reason why I chose to come into sales is also because of that company. I always wanted to do something for myself, and in a big corporation, the decision makers that I see are coming from two backgrounds, either finance or sales. If you see the CEO or the president, the founder, most of them have a background either in finance or sales. And since I was doing managing the financials for the corporation, I see sometimes they don't get along very well. Well, not getting along, meaning that different views and different they will make different business decisions. From the finance perspective, people are about, it's all about budgeting. If you have the money in the budget, then you can spend it. If it's not in the budget, you can't spend it. Whereas the head of the sales department, they think differently. If I'm able to provide $1 million and generate another $1 million for the company, why don't you give me 500 or 700 to spend? That's not on the budget. So we tend to get into a lot of conflict. Not conflict, but these are good conflicts. Yeah. These are good problems. And who makes the ultimate decision? The president of the company, right? So he needs to understand from both worlds and what he needs to make a business decision, what's going to be better for the company. And that fascinates me a lot. So after 5 years, I have the decent finance experience. So I said, you know what, let me go into sales.
Right. Would you say that was the secret sauce of what made your time as a financial analyst, that company? Would you say that that was a secret sauce that made them successful, finding the right balance, or was it something else?
Secret sauce finding them successful? Well,
yeah.
I think it's the founder of the company. He's brilliant. I mean, he's an entrepreneur. He's a visionary. But again, he developed this. He had multiple companies under his holding companies, and they're very influential. He inspires me to be, someone like that, to have a mindset like him. So finance, when I was in corporate finance, we were more about meeting, holding these different departments accountable to the budgets that we have created for them.
Because you were on the financial side.
And
you were on that side, and you were kind of like
we're
finding
keeping each other balanced.
Right.
So that was my job, and I enjoyed it. And I can tell from experience that I learned a lot while I was in that role, because I get to meet with different department heads, and the conversations that we have, it makes me think, wow, these people think differently.
Could you share maybe an example of a conversation that you had, just for our viewers? This is gold.
Right, sure. For example, for us, if the company gives us a target that you have to meet this goal, and you need to bring in $10 million revenue. And
that's this is a conversation to the sales or to the financial.
So every year we meet with the head of the sales, head of the different, like the sales department, the marketing department, the research department. We give them a budget. They have to work around. They need to ask money in order to spend the money. So that, and then we need to get approval. So once the budget is created, we pretty much lock them to that budget,
Right,
hold them accountable to that budget, right? So that's what finance department does. And but things change along the way. The industry might change. There might be new technology that need to invest in, but they never thought of. New stuff coming in. They need more money in order to hit that goal or surpass that goal. Now, those are the times when we come into, that we need to explore further, and we have to ask them all these, crazy questions. To them, is a tedious question. To them, it's a no-brainer. Why would you ask me? Why, if I can bring you $1 million extra revenue, just give me the $500,000 to spend, right? I'm sure you don't need it. I'm sure it's a no-brainer.
Right.
But again, you know what? The company needs to be accountable to all the goals that we hit. What if they missed the target? They spent the $500,000 and then they never hit the goal. Who's accountable for that?
Wow.
Right? And then we need to get approval from our parent company to see if they can spend the money. So that it's how business decisions are made, and we run into that a lot, and that's with all the different companies, and I find it fascinating.
I find it extremely fascinating
And-
because I think everybody has great ideas.
Correct.
People always have great ideas.
Correct.
But then if we can't get foot to concrete, foot to pavement, and really crunch out the numbers, if this is even possible to do,
Correct.
it's always going to remain a dream.
Correct.
And I think that it sounds like this is a foundation that you hold with you in all your other, is this safe to say,
Correct. Yes.
all your endeavors, this experience, that's amazing,
Right.
that you had this experience because you're able to really crunch those numbers and see if something is realistic or if it's just a dream.
I wouldn't say a dream, but if it's doable, and plus
Right.
if it meets our financial responsibility as a company. We are a subsidiary of a parent company. The parent company hold us accountable for some figures that we need to hit, right? And they only allow us to spend a certain money. So to us, budget is everything. Once we have the budget in, we don't want to touch it or change it. It's just like how the government has a budget to spend. How they spend it, they have to hit certain goals. They have to spend it in certain areas, and we want to ask from the finance perspective, we want to hold them accountable to the money that we said we're going to give them. We will give them the money.
Yeah.
But from the sales perspective, they will say, "Don't worry about how I spend my money, as long as I'm gonna give you the results that you wanted to see." Right. So that's it's a two different mindset. I'm not saying which one is right, which one is wrong, but they're all right. They're all right. It's just that people coming from this different perspective. So that made me realize that the world is not just black and white. There's many perspectives. Different people see it from different views, and all their perspectives are right. And I think that's what makes our society work and operate the way we work. We can give ourselves goals, but we can also be open to other opinions from other people that come from different views.
Wow, that's a great
That's
quote.
what I learned from my 6 years of experience working in corporate America.
That's great because I think coming from the public school, because I'm a public school teacher,
Right.
coming from the public school side, I think a lot of times when you teach kids about testing, standardized testing,
Yes.
and there's a right answer, there's a wrong answer, and if you get
Yes.
a wrong answer, you get a certain amount of points deducted, right?
Correct.
I think it trains, unfortunately, it trains
Right.
people that it's a black and white world.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, you can get to the answer in multiple ways. And
Correct.
I think that's the beauty of business as well, because there's
That's the
multiple
beauty of
ways
business. Correct.
of getting to your goal.
And now we graduate from school. Now we know the world needs to run this way. If there's only black and white, yes or no, or there's only a true or false,
Absolutely.
then it's
right.
just a robot.
Absolutely.
What make us humans, what make us unique, are all these different ways of different mindsets, different personalities,
Yes.
different way of thinking, and different ways of seeing things. That's what makes us unique. And there are people who are more successful, there are people less successful, but we need everybody in the world, or else the world is not perfect.
Right.
Well, it is not perfect. It's not perfect, but
right. But there's a perfection in the imperfection.
Correct.
Right? Because everybody serves a function.
Correct.
Everybody is in their own journey.
And that also, teach me to pay respect and to all different peoples, and also people from different, coming from different backgrounds, people with different views. We respect each other, and I think that's the biggest lesson that I learned, and from my working experience in corporate America.
So I have to ask you, when you took the leap, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, like from corporate America, you got into
Those
on your
places.
own, exactly, on your own,
Uh-huh.
your own entrepreneurship, becoming your own boss. What was the, because again, this isn't something that I can't imagine it being an easy decision, right?
It's not easy.
Because you're going from a set schedule, a set salary, right?
Correct.
And then suddenly your input may not give you the output.
Yes.
You're on your own,
Yes.
right? Can you talk a little bit about that decision-making process, and if there's any kind of advice or suggestions
Sure.
that you have for our viewers that are thinking about making that?
Sure. It's, like I said, I came from I have a business mindset. I graduated from the business school. I know I will be in business and practice my hobbies, my interests, things that I love to do. So I gave myself the 5-year goal. No matter what happened during this 5 year, I will be staying in the big corporation till I learn the things that I wanted to learn and experience the stuff that I want to experience. So after that expires, it's costly. A lot of people don't understand why you have to give up a stable job. Like you said, there's paychecks coming into your bank account every 2 weeks, and it's very stable and it's growing, and you can afford a pretty decent life, a lifestyle that you enjoy with you, your wife, and also at the time I had my first child. By giving up, I gave up everything. There's no stable income coming in.
Wow, and again, at the time, again, I'm going to repeat
Right.
this because this is important. You were married.
I was married.
And you
and
had
I had
a
my
kid.
first kid. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, but you know what? I always ask the second question, the follow-up question. I think the real secret sauce that you always mention is the follow-up question. I think your success is also the reason why that we're here today is because of your follow-up. I think that is the secret sauce. You asked me the question why I give up, but I also ask myself the follow-up question: what if I don't give up at the time? It will cost me. Perhaps it will cost me more.
Right.
To give up at a later time.
That's a really great quote, to elaborate more on, right? Because it's like, again, coming back to this black and white idea, right? Like,
Yeah.
there's a right choice and a wrong choice, but what if this right choice that you thought you took at the time is really the wrong choice? Kind of mind blowing type of thing, right?
We don't know if it's
Yeah,
right or wrong.
exactly.
But, you know what? As a young professional, I think it's okay to make mistakes. You have to allow yourself the chance to make mistakes. Everybody have their own different perspective and way of seeing things. But I know for myself, if I don't take this opportunity, if I do not let go of that income, I will regret. I will truly regret. Even if I make it to the highest in the corporate hierarchy, I will regret that I never took that opportunity, and I will feel sorry and bad for myself because I gave myself a 5-year expectation.
Yes.
I felt that I let myself down. So at that time, it wasn't about the money, but it was also about fulfilling your own goals.
Right.
And that goal is a commitment I made myself 6 years ago.
Wow.
Which is a 5-year commitment in corporate America, and then you let go.
Yeah, well, I want to say also, like, would you say that, of course, this wasn't a blind
Right.
choice?
It's not a blind choice. It
right,
was
like,
planted 6 years ago.
right, and within that time, you felt confident enough to say, if I make this decision to make this leap, I'm equipped with the right tools to give myself a fighting chance, a good fighting chance. Would you say that is a good assessment when you made that leap?
Not really.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And I'll share with
Yeah,
you this.
please.
I do not know how well I will perform in real estate sales because the retention rate here is very, very, very low. We have very high turnover rates. 9 out of the 10 realtors that you see will most likely quit within their first 2 years.
Yeah.
Right? It's kind of scary over here. But in order for me to make the decision, I have to burn all my old bridges. I wasn't confident that I'm able to do it. But I know myself that if I don't make that decision, tough decision, or if I don't burn all the bridges, it's gonna cost me more to be successful. It will take me it's gonna be harder for me to give in 120% of my efforts.
Right. Is it one of those like one step back to take 2 steps forward?
Right.
Type of a thing?
I like to burn all bridges. Well, in different ways.
Right.
I was offered the opportunity to go back at any time to my to the company that I work with, and I really appreciate my former boss and the company making those offers, but I never took it. I never looked back, because I know once I look back, I wouldn't go 100% or 120% in the new route that I'm trying to go with.
That's what you mean by burning bridges.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. But I never. I mean, I still, during holidays, I still text my old boss.
Right.
For many years after.
Right.
To appreciate everything that he have taught me and all the opportunities that he gave me. But I will never go back to that job. It's not that I hated it. I respect it a lot, but I know for myself, because I know myself.
Right. You chose on a destiny
Correct.
that you wanted to make for yourself,
Right.
and you wanted to burn, I guess, symbolically, burn that bridge to that destiny.
I don't give myself the chance to ever even look back.
Go back, right.
To look back, to not even look back.
Okay.
Because once I change my head, you know what? You have different thoughts. Instead of wasting time to think about, what happened? What happened if I do this and I don't do that? Once I took this one, I'm losing a lot of all these opportunities. Don't think that way. You know what? Just focus on the route that you're taking and just give 100% of your efforts to make it.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference between people who have guts and who don't have much guts.
Right.
And you just have to make calls during life. Just like when you're playing games, you have to make some tough calls and tough decisions from time to time.
It's amazing because Mr. Humble Pie over here, right, won platinum sales award, X amount of years in a row, was continue. So needless to say, when despite it being a big leap for you, you got comfortable real quick, and you were very, very successful, because it was multiple years that you outperformed the rest. So again, humble pie person, but definitely a man of many talents. Can you elaborate a little bit more on that? When you first jumped in to sales, you kind of new to the experience. I mean, what was that experience like? Were there any struggles?
Of course. So after I made the change to real estate, real estate to me, I have zero. Real estate to me, it's a new industry, especially in sales. Real estate sales, it's a totally different. In the past, we just go to the office. We sit in the office. It's a very nice office. We get to enjoy all the perks that the office gives us. Now coming to real estate sales, we're 100% commission. There's no base. You make money only when you close this transaction, right? So that's a lot of pressure. But to me, it's a win or go home situation. Either you make it or you go home. One, it's because how should I put this? Let me think. So when you put yourself in that position where I do not allow myself to look back, you have no choice but to go all in.
Your back's against the wall.
I'm back against the wall.
This is it. Like
Right.
do or die type of thing.
Even
right?
if Hamilton give me a position, Mike, if you fail, come to my company and you're gonna work for me. You always have a safety net in place. Don't ever take that as a backup plan. There's no backup plan. You just have to go all in. I know the chance of survival in real estate was very low at that time. Well, at all times, 10%, 20% retention rate. I knew that fact at the beginning, but I wanted to challenge myself, because remember, during my 6 years in corporate America, I see us, the finance department and the sales department, get into arguments for the better of the company, right? Because we came from different mindset and mentality. I want to put myself into the other field, the other side. Why are salespeople thinking the way that they think, right? Since I have my finance background, now I want to experience sales. What is it like to be in sales? So I just throw myself under the bus and just into this real estate sales industry.
I wanted to say there is a valuable point that you made, right? I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, if you tell yourself, I'm gonna do my best, and if my best isn't enough and I have a backup plan, I did my best. And it's almost like a cop-out.
It's not best.
Exactly.
It's not your best.
Because versus saying, I'm gonna do whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, correct.
It sounds similar, but it's actually drastically different mentality. And
mentality.
And it sounds like you took the I'm gonna do whatever it takes mentality and doing it. And maybe that might even be the secret sauce. Who knows, right?
It might be. And remember, not a lot of people will support you when I was. Not a lot of people were supporting me when I was making the decision, because your close friends, family members, they worry about you. They care for you. My in-laws, my mom-in-law at the time. You know what? I have a baby. I have a family to feed. What if you don't make the money? You have no paycheck coming into your bank. And to be honest with you, working in America, corporate America, maybe you work in business casual suits, all these you look nice, but your bank account doesn't look that nice after all the cuts, especially during your first few years. You don't get to save a lot, right? So that's a big, but you have security. There's stabilities in there, but now you have your people, the close people your close friends and family members, they start to worry for you. That also, to me, that also adds fuel within me to achieve.
Because you don't
So don't
want
let them, worry more about me. That, yes, it's a tough decision, but I need to do what I set out to do in order for not to have the people who care about me worry more about me. I want to ease their worry. But again, I put myself into that position. They did not, right? So I have to be accountable for myself, for the family, and for those people who are around me.
That's amazing. Wow. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, I think us Asians, we get the stereotype of being overachievers, and then just
not really.
hold on,
Yes,
but
yes,
that's kind of it, right? People, oh, you're overachiever. That's it.
Right.
But then it's like that. I love that because that really, again, peels back the curtain a little bit about what drives people to achieve more. And to you, your self standard and your self expectation that you put yourself in.
Right.
The I am gonna do whatever it takes to succeed.
Correct.
Because of I don't want to worry my family. I have a wife and kid. I gotta take care of the bills. Like you put yourself in this position. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to do that. I mean, would you say that your expectation of yourself was the driving force for the courage? Or would you say that it was something else that happened in your life or your childhood that made you so brave and willing to be so adventurous and do something?
I think it's knowing yourself. The reason why I have these expectations for myself and put these challenges for myself is because I know myself, that I'm a lazy bum, that I'm a procrastinator.
Right.
That if...
Aren't we all, right?
Yes, we all
can be.
Yes, I always wait to do things at the last minute, before the deadline. And it's very, very tough to change those habits, because once that habit is developed, it's extremely hard to change that. I admit it. And so the only thing that I can do to change that is to set myself some goals that I must hit to change the ship around a little bit, right? So that's why I said 5 years, you have to do it. You know what? I have to make it at a certain level in order to not let my family members worry about me. I have to achieve this at this time and make this decision at this time. So I was being purposeful and lay out the roadmap for myself.
Develop those great
Because
habits.
I know myself, because
Right.
if I don't put these, let's say, protocols in place, I will be a slacker. I will not be doing anything, because I'm a procrastinator, and I hate that. I do not want to see myself being a procrastinator. You want to make difference. You want to bring out the best of you. If you procrastinate, you don't get anywhere. So knowing that yourself is a procrastinator, it really gives me more. I put more emphasis on setting myself always give myself challenge in order to meet those and then to overcome those challenges, so I can carry myself to the next goal that I set for myself.
That's an incredible point, because it's like, especially for our viewers out there, that maybe the procrastination bug has bit them. It's not too late.
It's not that bad, but it's just knowing it, acknowledging it.
Exactly.
Everyone have weaknesses and failures, but that's one of my weaknesses.
No, but and totally backed by science, right? Like positive psychology states that it takes something like around 3 weeks of constantly doing something, you know, whether it's a new habit or whether it's jogging or exercising, whatever, it takes about 3 weeks, 21 days. And
Okay.
if you do it every day,
Right.
it will become a part of your personality.
It will
and
become
who
part
is.
of you.
It's easier for you to now do it because you
And
develop the
especially if
habit.
you're a procrastinator, you know what? I can build up the habit, but
Very easy. to build
it's
up.
it's very easy to go back. If you can do it for 3 weeks, but if you don't hit the next goal, you're gonna go back to the original, square one, and then you have to build up. It's hard. So I don't want to waste my time going back and forth, back and forth. So why don't I just push myself to the limit to see what I can do in order to fulfill the bigger dreams or to meet the the bigger goals that I set for myself. Right.
So I gotta ask you. This is great. I gotta ask you. On to that. The next chapter, next part of that journey, right? Being one of the founding partners of KWCP, right?
Okay.
Do you feel like this is the, because this is a recent endeavor that you
Yes.
started?
Yes.
Would you say that you still carry this mentality, this energy with you because you need to constantly challenge yourself?
Yes.
Is that what made you make that leap to now
Yes.
start a whole different endeavor?
Yeah, and I'll share with you.
Yeah.
So I said, I set myself, another 5 to 10 years in the business, in the sales business. So this is my 10th year. So time is up.
Wow.
There's no time for me to really to play around with, to fool around with. So and I have been a solo sales agent the past 10 years. I set myself a goal that I needed to hit to receive a diamond award, which is about it's a pretty prestigious award in terms of productions. I never hit that. And during last year, that was the last chance that I had because it's my 9th year. So I did everything I could, and I tried my best, and we got diamond last year. Now, the steps that I took to get there was challenging. The experience was phenomenal, but I'll share with you this: once I hit it, I become clueless again. Because again, this is understanding myself. That once I hit the goal, if I don't set myself a bigger goal, then I become the lazy bum that I am, that I'm still are, that I still are today, and I don't want to see that. So in order for me to continue to do this, I have to set myself a different goal, get myself a different goal. In the 9th year, I never thought about what am I going to do next. I don't know. I was thinking about going to school. I would think about quitting real estate. I would think about all these nonsense. But then I realized these are my weaknesses. These are the different Michael Gao. Have different perspective, and they keep in my
The easy way out.
the easy way out.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't want that. I don't like that. It's part of me, but it's the part of me that I don't like about myself.
Right.
So I want the stronger me, the more confident me, and the more purposeful me to overtake those weaker me.
That's so relatable because that's so many people have that. And
Right.
Sadly, a lot of people choose that
Correct.
easier route, right?
Right.
But then later on,
Correct.
wonder why maybe they're not happy or why
Right.
they're in that position. And you're like,
Right.
so again, I love this because it sounds like a secret sauce here, right? So for you, it's like when you hear that voice, it's like I gotta run away from that voice.
Yes, I have to run away from that, and we all need to run away from that. No one is perfect. We all have our weaknesses, but it's okay. We just have to acknowledge those and know what are your weaknesses, what are your strengths. So you know what? I made myself a goal. 10 years is up. I hit the goal in my personal growth and my personal productions. Maybe I can help other people to achieve the same. Maybe I want to help another person hit platinum or even hit diamond, so that I can influence them and change their life for the better and help them make more money in this business. So that's why I started my own team. The goal of this team is not for myself to make more money, but I want us to be able to show other potential, other realtors who have great potentials to to utilize their potential and exceed in life as well.
Wow, it's
To
like
hit the goals. Yeah.
it's like an amazing kind of a protocol or
Yeah.
maybe a roadmap that at least for
Right.
you, how you can achieve the most that you can be.
Correct. Be the best you can be.
Right. And
And
you
in
want
order
to
to-
you want to see that
Right.
happen to other people.
And I think in order for me to go to the next level, I have to develop something for others. I have to make others, I wanna see others be successful as well, so I can move on to the next level. People need to take these positions. You know what? It's like a ladder. If you don't have the next level down, the whole ladder is gonna collapse, and there's no way that you can go higher up. So now I want to build a team. I want to build a structure. I want to implement the company's structure models to see how many Michael Gaos there are.
And
Not
you
Michael
train-
Gao, and I
yeah.
cannot. They don't have to be Michael Gao.
Sure.
They be themselves. But I want them to get the same results that I
Right.
was able to accomplish
through
And-
being their true self, their
Correct.
their
Being
best,
themselves.
their
Being the best they can be.
self.
Correct.
Right.
They don't
Oh,
have to be
wow.
me. They don't have to
Right.
because everybody
Right.
have different routes and different ways of doing business. But I wanted to show them that this is possible. That you know what, if they share the same mentality, if they are committed to be the best they can be, they can really be the best they can be. And we don't know what the best is.
That's the exciting.
That's the
part.
exciting part. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. We don't know what the best.
That-
it
it's
is.
great, and it's like Michael, you've trained I think over 100 people already, and you're still training and continuing to go. I mean, would you say
Right.
that's like your next, like your next goal in a way, like that you had mentioned it before, kind of like, helping others, and I feel like that's always good business, right? It's like
Right.
when you put helping others first,
You actually help yourself.
you help yourself, right?
And I learned that through last year. So, that's why I was really grateful for the company who gave me the ability, give me the chance to, to be able to share my knowledge in real estate with other newer agents to help them grow their business as well.
Yes.
Like you said, you know what, the best way to learn, the best form of learning is by teaching. And you're a teacher.
Oh man, that's another
and-
quotable moment.
And I think that resonates with me a lot. And I never realized that until last year. I didn't realize that because I would remember I was always solo agent, and I always have a goal, and I was being purposeful. I have no time to reflect, to think, what if this happens? What if that happens? Because I have no time to think about that. But I realized in 2022 was my best year, my busiest year, and I have accomplished so much. One is because I never look back. I never looked at other opportunities because I'm very purposeful. And two, you really don't know what you can be until you really set the mind to do what you set up for yourself. And it was amazing. I could have never imagined that I was able to hit diamond at the very last year. I couldn't imagine myself being to share my knowledge with so many newer agents who have great potentials and make an impact in their business, and that also changed my mind. So after 10 years is up, now I have a little bit more clarity of what I want to achieve. What is my next goal, my next 5 to 10 year.
Well,
plan.
do you have that? Do you want to share like what that is?
I
Like what you're
don't
up to
know right now, but
Okay.
I'm taking the steps to make it plan. So
Okay.
that's why I started my own team. I started our KWCP.
Yep.
And these are all still real estate related. It could be other things. I personally like to challenge, like going, forget out everything in the past, start everything fresh at a new venture.
Wow.
Something. We don't know what that is right now because 10 years not up.
Yeah.
So I'll just wait for the 10 years to come up
And then you'll figure it out.
and then we'll figure it out at that time.
I love it. I love it. So if you were to say, looking back, if there's a way somehow that you can give yourself 10 years in Stony Brook, the Michael Gao in Stony Brook, if you can give them some advice, what would you say you would say to that Michael Gao?
I have my best experience in college. That's where I met my wife. Yeah. I have the best friends from college. So Stony Brook gave me everything that I ever wanted in a higher education experience. The knowledge, the network, the people, and everybody that I came across. I was proud of the Michael Gao 15 years ago, from 2004 to 2007. I like who he was at the time. I wish that I can resonate more with the old self, because at that time you don't know nothing. The world is an ugly world, if you don't mind me saying.
No,
that.
I don't mind. It's,
You know,
it's true.
it could be as nasty as you can imagine, but that's why it needs more of the younger viewers to be true to themselves, to bring positivity and kindness to the world.
Yes.
right? Especially in sales, it's a cutthroat business,
Yes.
right? Not to say that they're wrong, but they can be nasty
100%.
at times,
100%.
right? So in order for us to carry on the future years, I think we have to reflect, all these beautiful memories we have from our childhoods, all these greatness and the kindness that we share at old times. Those are the times and the characteristics that help me to to come back with the ugly side of the world, because eventually you guys will face it no matter what. Even the most successful people will face it, right? And we just have to remember what carried us this far, all the positive things. So that's why with me and my kids, I try to have them be as happy as they can. I don't care too much about the school grades, but I think as long as they find who they are and they can identify themselves through the growing up through the process, I think I'm okay with them. I think I'm happy for them. So
Wow. So looking back, it's like, that's a great answer. It's like you appreciated.
I actually love the old self.
That's what
more
I'm
than
saying.
I am
Yeah,
today.
exactly. Exactly. It's like you appreciated the experiences that you had, and you wouldn't change a thing. Like, just be
No, I won't.
Michael
I won't.
Gao, be the Michael Gao from Stony Brook. You're gonna be okay.
Love yourself. We have to learn how to love ourselves. And I know, especially for people who are still in college or who are recent graduates, love who you are. You can be a better person, but all your past experience, whether it's good or bad, there must be something unique, something good. Remember the good ones. You know what? We have a long way to work and improve on our own weaknesses. Like I tell you, I still have weaknesses, but we also have to acknowledge our own weaknesses in order to give us the chance to fix those weaknesses and turn them into our strength.
Wow, Michael Gao.
Yeah.
I don't know what better way to end this. End it on that. That's amazing. Incredible story. Thank you so much, Michael Gao, for the jewels that you've left for our viewers. I'm so excited to see what that next endeavor.
We'll see.
What that next-
Maybe yeah. What was I still haven't figured it out yet. So I still have a couple of months to figure it out. But let's just set out, finish my 10-year journey first, and then we'll see.
Yeah.
What happens next?
Michael Gao.
All right.
Honor.
It's a pleasure to be here.
Privilege
And
is mine for you to come on.
It's my pleasure, and I really appreciate everything that you do. And I think you are spreading this positivity. You're spreading everything that you do. I think it's you're gonna make an impact to the viewers that you have on your channel, and I think you're phenomenal.
No, you're phenomenal.
You are phenomenal.
But thank you again, Michael Gao. Oh, you got to come back on again.
All right, man.
This episode is brought to you by Jing's Mortgage Team. Jing's Mortgage Team is a team of real estate mortgage professionals whose mission is to help anyone with their real estate needs. If you're looking to buy a home, sell a home, refinance your home, have credit issues, or in need of an investment loan, we can definitely help you. If you're looking for a real estate agent, we know the best of the best real estate agents. Visit the link below for more information.